Hello and welcome to the sixth lecture of manufacturing method. So far we have completed. So far we have completed two lectures. That is module one. That is casting. In this is a new chapter. So we will start with introduction to that chapter. That chapter in the first lecture. In the first lecture, what we have done, we have given some introductory idea about metal forming. Now in this lecture what we will do, this is the sixth lecture of the course, and this is the second module. We are starting module 2. The name of the module is introduction, the name of the lecture is introduction to metal forming and shaping. Now the lecture objectives are to understand what is the meaning of metal forming along with their application, know about the different metal forming processes, what are the different metal forming processes that we will know at the end of this lecture, and to understand the basic characteristics of different metal forming processes. We will understand the basic characteristics of different metal forming processes, and then we will understand about the factor which affects the metal working or metal forming. Now let's start our lecture with metal forming. So the term metal forming means change of shape of a existing solid body. So if there is a existing solid body in the lecture, what we have in the first lecture, what we have discussed by casting there is we can form billet, bloom and slab. Now the shape of these billet, blooms and slabs can be changed using metal forming. So forming means change of shape of a existing solid body. So for forming the starting material, that is called workpiece, stock or blank, that is called workpiece, stock or blank, may be given the shape of plate, sheet, bar, rod, wire or tubing of various cross section. So this is the process of forming. In forming, so how this can be achieved, this can be achieved that we will see. And and another type of process, that is called shaping. This is also metal working. This shaping and forming, the both together, both are moreover in most of the cases both are referred as same meaning, but shaping process involve molding and casting of or soft or molten material, and the finished product are usually near net or final desired shape. That means it requires little or no finishing. So this is the forming and shaping operation. These are the main funda of forming and shaping operation. Now the forming operation, how they can how the metal is worked, how the change of shape can be done. The change of shape can be done using when the initial metal used in forming, the initial material used in forming and shaping, they are usually molten metal which is cast into individual ingot and continuously cast into slab, rods or pipe. So these slab, rods or pipe are converted to rod structure. Converted to rod structure means in the time of casting, what we do in the time of casting, there is some amount of other alloying element is added with the pure metal, so that it can withstand the force, so that ductility, malleability, this type of ductility, malleability, this type of property increases. And due to this type of property, it can withstand the force, it can withstand the external force which deform the body plastically. So metal forming, in one word we will see, the metal forming or metal working is a bulk deformation process by external loading, and that external loading and the bulk deformation is achieved to plastic deformation. And it is also called, this process, shaping or metal forming, this process are known as, altogether they are known as metal working process. Now some of the forming, so what are the application? Some of the forming and shaping operation can produce long continuous products plate sheet such as plate sheets, tubing, wire, bars with various cross section. What are the process which can make continuous product? They are rolling, extrusion, drawing processes. These are capable of making such product, and which are then cut into our desired shape. So this is a one process of metal forming. And in another processes, such as we in another processes can make discrete products, such as in case of forging, sheet metal forming, stamping. They produce discrete product. Now in a typical automobile there is various product which are formed using metalworking or metal or shaping. So what are those are, see from this picture we can say that drawn this tube antenna, the body is a cold rolled sheet metal or reinforced plastic for the body. Stamped license plates are stamped. Injection molded, the tail lights are injection molded. Fuel tank, springs, these are the product which are formed. Compression molded tires, deep drawn oil pan, stamped wheel covers, then then blow molded windshield whisker and washer fuel tank, ceramic spark plug, powder material filters, forged valve, shaped windshield and modern dashboard. All of these products are done by metalworking. All of these products are made by principles of metalworking. So this is the importance of the metal forming. So this is highly used in automobile industry. This is highly used in the automobile industry. Now in the metal forming process, what is the metal forming process? The metal forming is done by bulk material deformation by application of external force. Now this bulk material deformation can be achieved by plastic deformation of the body, and that plastic deformation is caused by the external force that is given to the body. And the body should have some ductility or malleability type of property, so that it can withstand and deform plastically with the application of force. Now what are the types of metalworking? The types of metalworkings are: first there is rolling, next forging, next extrusion, drawing, and sheet metal operation. Now these are the mostly used metal forming or metal working operation. Now we will see in our later section of this module about in detail study about rolling, forging, extrusion, drawing, and sheet metal working will be done. The general characteristics of these five processes has been shown in the next table. See, rolling can be of two type. First one is flat rolling, second one is shape rolling. So in case of flat rolling, flat plate, sheet and foil at high speed with good surface finish can be made, especially in cold rolling. Very high capital investment is there, and low to moderate labor cost is there. And shape rolling, production of various structural shapes such as I-beams and rail at high speed can be done using shape rolling. It also includes thread rolling. And it requires shaped roll that are expensive equipment, and it has low to moderate labor cost, but it requires moderate operator skills. So In case of next, there is forging. Production of discrete parts can be by a set with a set of dies can be done using forging. Some finishing operation usually required and performed at elevated temperature, but it is also can be done for in cold forging can be done for smaller part. Die and equipment costs are very high to and moderate to high labor cost, and it is required moderate to high operator skill. Next is extrusion. Extrusion for producing long lengths of solid and hollow shapes with constant cross section. Extrusion is can be an option, or this process is used. Product can cut into desired length afterwards. So extrusion can produce continuous product, and that product can be cut to desired length. It is also usually performed at elevated temperature, but cold extrusion is used for very small object and to make discrete product. It is also required it required moderate to high equipment cost and low to moderate labor cost, and low to moderate operator skill is needed. Next is drawing. So what is drawing? Production of long rod and wire. So wire production or rod production is known as drawing, with various cross section and good surface finish is known as drawing. Very low to moderate die and equipment and labor cost, and it requires to moderate operator skill. Similarly, for sheet metal forming, what is sheet metal forming? Production of a wide variety of shape with thin walls and simple or complex geometries can be made using sheet metal forming. Generally, they are low to moderate die equipment and labor cost, and it requires low to moderate operator skill. So these are the characteristics of the different metal forming processes. These metal forming processes we will study in this lecture, in this chapter, in the later on lectures. So now, what are the factors that affects the metal working? First, to understand that, we have to understand the metal forming process. So how the metal forming process works? See, if this is a blank stock or workpiece, now this is our blank stock of and workpiece. Now, if our desired product is our desired product is like this, a sheet of length and some desired length and thickness, this can be made by compressive force. It can be made by compressive force. Now this compressive force can be given by different manner, and which leads to this compressive force leads to increase of flow stress, which in turn increases the strain rate, and by increasing the strain rate, what happens? Plastic deformation occurs, and by this plastic deformation, the material is gain the shape, gain stock or blank or workpiece can take the shape, take the desired shape, and it can stay at that shape. Why? Because the bulk deformation is plastic deformation. There is no that is not elastic deformation. That means metal forming works only in plastic region. That means the nominal stress that should develop in case of metal forming is the yield stress. So this is an important factor, that is yield stress, and that yield stress is calculated by the term flow stress. What is flow stress? We will see. Now, apart from this external loading, now the value of the loading is the primary value of the compressive loading is the primary factor for knowing the reduction or for knowing the how much shape will be changed. That is the first criteria. But apart from external loading, there is several criteria that should be taken care while performing metal working. So among them, what are those factors are those among the all other factors, the most important factors are flow stress, next is temperature, another is third strain rate, next is microstructure or metallurgical structure, fourth one is friction, fifth is lubrication and composition. These are the factors which affects the the metal working. So we will see how they affect the metal working. So flow stress, what is flow stress? It is the true stress acting inside the material. So it is the true stress acting inside the material. That means from the definition of the stress, what we know, from the definition of the stress, we know that stress is the internal resistance per unit area. Now tell me what, now just imagine that if we give some compressive force here, if we give some compressive force here at any instant, that compressive force, what it would do, that compressive force tends to deform the body. Now if we consider that body is deformed, now in this condition at say t is equal to some after some time, at this condition this compressive force is or force is still present, this compressive force is still present, but the body is deformed. Now the value of stress is changed. So this flow stress encounter the this change of value also, the flow stress encounter this nominal change of stress value also. So that's why it is differs from the engineering stress. That's why flow stress differs from the engineering stress. In the practice, flow stress is the true stress. Flow stress is the true stress. It is only the true stress. Why it is only the true stress? Because it it takes account the change in the dimension of the workpiece. So now next what is the so this is the importance of flow stress. So it is used to accurately predict the forming load. Accurate values of the stress are needed. So to predict the forming load, most accurate value of the stress is needed. So that is flow stress. So flow stress, by depending on the flow stress, deformation and load is given or deformation is loaded and load is related on the basis of flow stress. Now flow curve, so that's why flow curve is desirable to be drawn for actual working condition, as the operations involve large plastic strain. So first the flow curve should be drawn. After that following the flow curve, strains and the loading is measured, and calculated, so that we can know that bulk deformation or plastic strain generated are leading us to our desired shape. So this is the importance of the flow stress. Similarly, temperature. On the basis of temperature, metal forming can be classified in three classes. First one is hot working, second is cold working, and third one is warm working. In case of hot working, what we do, the material is deformed above recrystallization temperature. Above recrystallization temperature means crystal or metallurgical small grains can be changed. Above recrystallization temperature means small grain can be broken and can make fine grain structure. By making fine grain structure, what happened? By changing its crystallization, what happened? Recovery process takes place simultaneously, and due to this recovery process, strength decreases but ductility and malleability increases with the increase of temperature, with the increase of annealing temperature. So this is the process of hot working. In hot working, what is important? In hot working, the process is worked at higher temperature or more than recrystallization temperature. So similarly, in case of cold working, the material the working of metal is done below the recrystallization temperature. In case of cold working, the it is done below the metal working is done below the cold working temperature. So there is no recovery possible. So there is no crystal structure change, so there is no recovery can be possible. So that's why strength of the material is increased in expense of ductility when the material is cold work. So we should understand from here one thing, that in places where we need the strength, at that places we must use the cold work material, but in the places where we want the material to withstand some amount of load before breaking, or to withstand to have some ductility or malleability, at that time we should choose the hot work steel, hot work metal. So there is another type apart from this cold work and hot work, that is warm work. The warm work metals are the metals which is which is being worked at above the room temperature but below the recrystallization temperature. So this is the effect of temperature on the metal working. And now we will see the effect of strain rate. So flow stress of the material increases the strain rate. Again, increase of temperature due to adiabatic heating decreases the strain rate. So 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 that's why what is happening, the flow stress is first increased, and after some time when the temperature is more, why this adiabatic heating is happening? Because of the friction between chip tool interface. Next we will see that. So by using lubrication at the tool metal interface, this strain rate drop due to increase of temperature won't be there. So that's why flow stress can increase, the strain rate also increase with increasing of flow stress. So now we will see the metallurgical structure, dependency of metallurgical structure or microstructure. So what happens? So in the class of casting, in case of solidification, what I have said that in case of solidification there is some preferred location or preferred direction of solidification. Now that preferred orientation creates the anisotropy of the mechanical properties inside the body. Anisotropy means, that means inside the body there can be different mechanical property. So that is can be achieved by using metallurgical or microstructure. Like if the workpiece is an alloy structure of other phases present inside the alloy may cause softening or hardening. So by presence of other element, by presence of other metal alloy, the material can be soft or hard. Precipitation can be occurred when the mechanical property is changing by applying bulk deformation, and the alteration is this alteration ultimately changes the flow stress. So that's why microstructural or that's how microstructural or metallurgical property or metallurgical structure the can change the load and flow stress for metal working. Now friction, we all know that friction is the resistance. Friction is the resistance between the relative motion, resistance between the relative motion of the solid surface. Now this it changes for cold working due to friction. There is a chance of sticking, there is a chance of sticking due to cold welding. Now in case of hot working, there is a sticking friction is generated, there is a sticking friction is generated. So this friction can change the metal working, can affect the metal working. Now for taking care of that friction, lubrication is used. Another use of lubrication is to reduce the temperature in the chip to in the tool material interface. So by this note, by this is our end of this lecture. And in this lecture, what we discussed about the methods of metal forming and shaping, and we have given a brief idea of the what are the metal forming and shaping operations. And after that, we have seen the effect, the factors that affecting the metalworking process. So thank you. Let's have a good day.